Hi, thank you for joining. My name is Erin McCollough with Triple Amazing, and I am here with Baba Ofundi, Barry D. McCollough. He is a master astrologer for over 40 years, and he is coming with a special gift for me today to offer me a free reading, I think in exchange for my helping him with his social media efforts. And I am truly grateful to you, Baba, for providing this reading for me. I've never actually had one, so I'm excited to hear what you have to say. And having listened to you over the last few weeks, you are very, very knowledgeable in astrology, so I'm really excited to hear this today. So with no further ado, Baba Ofundi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you so much for the compliments and the words of encouragement. As I will say always at this point, what I want to do first is to let people know that astrology is not based on psychic ability. That is an entirely different field, and there are some enormously gifted psychics. But astrology is based on the planets, the signs that they're in, and the houses. And in order to do an astrological chart, I get from people the date, the complete date, day, month, and year, the time of birth, and the place of birth. And once I have that, I am able to construct an astrological chart. And as you can see, it's a circle. Okay, and if I go on a little closer, you can see like there's Saturn in the 12th house in Leo. Okay, so what happens is all of the planets are charted for the time of birth. I'm not going to show Erin's date of birth. You know how ladies are about their birth date. At least ladies in the old school were. They didn't want you to know how old they were. Okay. But we will say that Erin is a Taurus, and a lot of very interesting aspects in this chart. Sun and Mercury in Taurus. Taurus is stability. Taurus is the second sign in the zodiac. Taurus correlates in astrology to values, valuables, income, money, because it is the second house. It is the second sign. Resources, we'll say. And Erin, your Sun and Mercury, based on the time that you were born, were almost directly overhead. You were born a little bit after noon, and that puts them in the ninth house. The ninth house is a house of foreign cultures, travel, law, long distance travel, long distance communication networks, and so. With Sun and Mercury and Taurus, Mercury is how our minds work and how we gather information. The Sun is our basic significator in astrology. There in your life, there in some way has always been a strong interest in foreign affairs, foreign cultures, long distance travel, those kinds of things, and that will always be true. I see you shaking your head. Yes. What is also interesting, you know, in every chart we can find, at least I can, based on years of experience, where a person's genius lay, where a person is able to perform at the 99th percentile. You know, those in the old days they gave tests, at least we did when I was a professor, and you know, you come in at a certain percentile. Well, everybody has the ability to tap into the natural genius that they have. Everybody has the ability to do something better than just about anybody else, signified by planets that we're going to talk about. Everybody also has great good luck. And so let's start with the luck, because everybody always wants to know about that. Your luck is signified in the chart by Jupiter. Jupiter shows luck, expansion, positivity, optimism, and your greatest good luck, your Jupiter, is in the 10th house of career. That is an excellent significator for success and career. It also shows great good luck comes to you through all matters related to career. Your Jupiter is in Gemini, so there is an element of communication, sharing of information, ideas, these things are very important and very much strongly connected to your career matters. So great good luck comes to you through career matters. And you know, some of the sources indicate that someone with Jupiter in the 10th house could seek public office at some time. So we're going to keep an eye on you. You may be Congresswoman McCollough one of these days. You probably won't even know any of your old friends, but we'll still love you anyway. Just kidding there. But that is one significator. Why? Because Jupiter shows honesty and ethics. And with Jupiter in the 10th house, people know you for your honesty, for your ethics, for just the positive support that you give and express through anytime you're dealing with anything that's career related. Your Jupiter is in what we call a good aspect to your Pluto. Your Pluto is in Libra. It's in the 2nd house of finances and income. And Pluto shows, yeah, you should smile on that one, because Pluto shows where we have the ability to do things at the 99th percentile. It shows really unique ability. Unique and perfect are absolutes, okay? So when I say unique ability, you have an ability in regard to finances, income, values, and valuables that is one of a kind. It is enormously powerful. Your Pluto is in what we call a trine aspect. I'm not going to try to get into too much jargon, but that is a very good aspect to your career house. So through your career and through your career, you're able to garner very positive financial benefits. You will develop an unbelievable income, okay? With Jupiter trine Pluto, those are two of the biggies. Jupiter is great good luck. Pluto shows where the person is able to perform at the peak ability, at the 99th percentile, and some would even say the 100th percentile of ability. So Jupiter trine Pluto is excellent for career, excellent for income and finances. And all of that, those two things are sextiled, and that's another good aspect, the 60-degree aspect, by your Saturn in the 10th house. Your Saturn in the 10th house is in Leo. The 10th house is the house of the subconscious mind. It's the little voice that we hear. And with Saturn shows where we have challenges and where we can reap a harvest based on hard work. Erin, with your Mercury square Saturn, you might be a little bit too hard on yourself, but yeah, the upside of that is that whenever you are critical of yourself, there's a process that goes on below the surface in your subconscious mind to figure out, well, how can I change this? How can I improve it? Saturn is all about making us come face to face with issues, but also forcing us through time and effort and through applying ourselves in terms of learning to solving those problems. So when those nagging thoughts or that negativity comes, for you, it's a good thing because it's focusing you on things that you need to make improvements in. And Saturn does give the power over time to make those improvements. So be a little bit easier on yourself, and when those thoughts come, realize that those thoughts are just to spark you to make adjustments and changes that are really going to be better for you in the long run anyway. Now, so think positively, Erin. Think positively.
I'm just blown away right now by all of this. Wow.
Okay. Great. I'm glad. I I'm like the little boy who found something and wanted to tell everybody about it, and that's how it's been with me in astrology. I found it. I found how it had applications in my own life, so I just have always wanted to share information because I find that with knowledge we become free and we're able to do things, whereas when we're sitting with lacking knowledge, it's kind of difficult to maneuver. Moving on around your chart, I'm looking at your third house. The third house is the house of the mind and communication. And your third house is particularly blessed because you have what we call the north node of the moon, which shows our ability to be in the right place at the right time. and you have Uranus also in the third house. Uranus shows, we'll start with Uranus, it shows where a person's genius is expressed. You have a genius for communication, okay? There are very few people who in a communication setting would be able to manipulate, manage, control that setting, and express themselves as clearly and as beautifully as you do. And the thing about that genius is that it's supported by your ability, your words, your mind, your thoughts always keep you in the right place at the right time. Uranus in Scorpio can be kind of strong, and it is in an opposition to your Sun in Taurus. So oppositions show aspects of awareness you have in relationships. Been dealing with people who can be very stubborn, very selfish, and who are in and out of your life very suddenly. Those are all learning experiences, okay? But the main thing about that polarity between your Sun in Taurus and Uranus in Scorpio is that it's an opportunity. All of those things were honing or polishing your ability to communicate. So that because you have been in experiences where people, Scorpio can be, I mean, I'm not trying to, what's the word, generalize, but sometimes we do have to generalize. Some Scorpios can be rather stinging in their interactions with people, and so you've been in some situations where you've been stung, and that's all part of growing. But the great thing about it is that you have transmuted that energy through your ability to communicate, through this genius ability to communicate, especially because the north node of the moon is in Libra. Now, Libra is very, what's the word? Very calm. They are very much concerned about the other person. They are partnership people. So you've transmuted that energy to the point where you always want to make other people comfortable in your communication with them, okay? And that, with that north node of the moon in the third house, that keeps you in the right place at the right time. You have the ability to almost psychically sense what is going on behind the surface with people, and you're able to nurture that and channel that and adapt that information in your interactions with them so there's a positive outcome. People are going to be calling upon you to be a spokesperson. I know that I appreciate all the things you're doing with me for social media and acting as a moderator, so forth and so on. And I couldn't be in better hands in that regard. Okay, we'll come back to that a little bit later. Also, in your chart, we look at Neptune. Neptune shows where spirituality comes into our lives. And in your chart, Neptune is in the fourth house. So the fourth house is the house of home, family. It also deals with real estate, everything related to the home. So things that happen in regard to home and family and real estate, those are all spiritual lessons for you to learn, okay? Sometimes things will come up and it'll just seem like a big brouhaha, and then just suddenly it's over. That's Neptune. And it's the indication is that it is spiritual energy that's coming into your life. Every challenge, I believe, that we experience is for our growth. In the whole field of storytelling, if the protagonist, the main character, doesn't have any challenge, the story's not interesting, the story doesn't go anywhere. The challenge is essential for human growth. And in your chart, one of the challenges, aside from relationships with some individuals who were in and out of your life and just kind of negative in some ways, one of the other challenges is the spirituality that is being expressed through your home environment. So when things go on at home, as a Taurus, I don't even have to tell you this, take a breath, calm down, remain calm and placid. A lot of times it'll work out. A lot of times it's just a challenge to see how you're going to respond. Your moon is in Pisces.
Yes. Does that apply when things are crazy with my kids at home too?
Kids in the home, definitely. It's always, I've seen some of your interaction with them. You're very calm, very patient. You take your time. You put things in order. I know. That's what I'm telling you what I see. As a parent, I know that we fluctuate, but dealing with the kids, there's a lot of spiritual energy there, and you don't have any. I was just looking at Neptune in the 4th house right there. You don't have any planets in the 5th house, but that doesn't matter because there are rulerships that are involved, and you have Sagittarius on the 5th house cusp. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Your kids are going to be very successful. They're going to be involved in careers that deal with thoughts and communication and the mind, bodies of information, all those kinds of things. They're going to be very successful. They're very blessed to have you as a mother, and they're going to be very successful based on your chart. Yep. Mm-hmm. Going on around your chart, we're looking at now your moon. Your moon is in the 7th house. The moon shows where we have an ability to be popular. It also shows where a certain level of emotions come in. With your moon in the 7th house, you always have been very popular with other people. Moon in the 7th house, moon in the house of the public and in the house of relationships. Now, the moon is cyclical, and so you should be or come more aware of the cycles in terms of dealing with the public and in terms of dealing with other people. There are always going to be cycles. There are going to be up times and down times, so keep that in mind. And the good thing about your chart is, again, going back to that Taurus, it's very stable, it's very reliable. So even though there might be some up and down cycles in regard to relationship, and nothing negative, nothing totally negative, you always have that placidity that Taurus has. Taurus is very slow to anger, but God, when you make them angry, they're going to be angry for a while. They're not like some other signs that are very vocal. They'll be quiet and just as friendly, but just as angry with you. And it's going to take a time. It's going to take a little while for that anger to work out, and people just have to deal with that because Taurus is very stable. They're very fixed. They're very placid. They're very calm and friendly. But don't make them angry because you're going to be in for an ordeal, and it's going to last for quite a while. But back to that moon in Pisces in the 7th house. Neptune is transiting in Pisces right now through the 7th house. You're going to be coming in contact with many more very spiritually oriented people, but also Neptune is in conjunction with your moon right now. So your psychic ability is going to be strengthened. You'll be able to pick up things based on how you feel. You'll get feelings from people. Those feelings are going to be, you've always done that, but it's going to be magnified enormously now. Because with Neptune, the planet of inspiration and spirituality and dreams in your 7th house, conjunct your moon in Pisces, your psychic ability, your ability to detect and understand things that are not known on the surface, so to speak, is becoming stronger and stronger. This is a very powerful aspect. And I just noticed that with Neptune conjunct your moon in Pisces, very powerful. You're developing a very powerful psychic ability. Okay, so don't be surprised with that. Why are you looking like that? What?
I gotta find my mute.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, Barry! Ofundi! Oh my gosh! I have been feeling that. I mean, I've always, like you said, I've always kind of had intuition where, I felt something and then it happened. And this last week, I said, I just need to really be thinking more about that. And when I have a dream about somebody, or if I keep thinking about someone, take some time to figure out maybe what it is, and then contact them and see how I can help. So, I did that this morning. Had a dream about a friend from 10 years ago back in Baltimore at Hopkins, and haven't talked to him probably in 3 years. Had a dream about him, and so I just sent him a message and said, I was thinking about you today. Hope everything is, fine with you. Just sending good thoughts, and I have no idea what's going on with him, but that's so cool.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that with this aspect that message was needed and will be greatly appreciated. I'm sure you'll hear something from that. Very, very powerful. Once in a lifetime. Neptune takes hundreds of years to go around, I believe it's 164 years to go around, all the way around and I request ability to revise and extend my remarks for that exact number, but it is over 100 years for Neptune to transit through all of the signs. And so this is a once in a lifetime aspect. It's very powerful. Your psychic ability is going to become stronger and stronger, and it is going to be channeled to you through how you feel. So pay particular attention to how you feel. Moving on around the chart, your Venus and Mars are in Aries, and they're in conjunction. With Venus and Mars and Aries just before your Sun in Taurus, the 12th, what we call a 12th house aspect, is created there, and you need to trust. Venus is Jupiter is the greater benefic or the greater good luck. Venus is the lesser good luck. Venus is creativity and artistic ability. Mars is our energy and activity and initiative. With Mars in Aries, that is a very elevated position. Mars rules Aries. With Mars in Aries, you are a go-getter. Mars in Aries makes a person also very competitive. Mars in Aries wants to be first, and they usually end up first. Okay, they're very competitive. They are excellent at applying that energy to achieve goals. Now, your Venus and Mars are in a conjunction, and Venus also deals with the feminine aspect of us. Mars deals with the masculine aspect of us. When Venus and Mars are in conjunction, that gives a person enormous charisma, enormous magnitude, enormous, what's the word? Charisma. Magnetism is the word. Okay, I'm tripping over my words. Enormous magnetism and enormous charisma. With Venus and Mars in the 8th house of taxes, insurance, inheritance, money from partnerships, you often, with Venus, there are gifts and benefits that come to you through those areas of life. With Mars there, a certain amount of your energy is focused there, so that's a great area when, what's the word? It's sort of a sideline, a hobby, taxes, insurance, inheritance in some way, and also money from partnership. That's like a sideline. Your main thing is your Jupiter in the 10th house of career. Whatever you focus, I know you're doing the thing with triple amazing connections right now, and you're going to see enormous expansion with that. There are going to be powerful financial ramifications that come from that. It looks like you are, that's another thing. Right now, looking at your second house, your Pluto is in the second house, giving unparalleled ability to generate income, but also on top of that, just recently, just in the last month or so, in the last few months, Jupiter and the north node of the moon by transit, because we look at, this is a shot of your planets for the day you were born and the time that you were born and the place that you were born. But all the planets continue to move, okay? So when I look at, and this snapshot is written in stone. These are the planetary energies that were in effect when you were born. This would be the same for anybody else whenever they were born. But on top of that, we also have to look at what's called the transits. And right now, Jupiter, great good luck, and the north node of the moon, ability to be in the right place at the right time, have just are in Virgo, and they have transited into your second house of finances and income. This is going to be a signal year, a very powerful year in regard to your finances and income. Jupiter will be in Virgo through roughly September 2016, and it's going to move into Libra. And when it moves into Libra, probably around the end of the year, it's going to be in conjunction with Pluto. There are going to be some huge major developments in regard to finances and income for you, okay, towards the end of the year. It's starting now, but it's going to get even better and better as we go. Also, with you got Venus trine Saturn, you have some sort of and as a Taurian, your ruling planet is Venus, okay? And that's the planet of beauty and social grace. It's the what we call the lesser benefic, the lesser good. It is not. Jupiter is the greater good, huge, big things. Venus is the nice little gifts that come consistently. Okay, and with your Venus trine Saturn, there is some sort of artistic ability that you have. I don't know if you expressed it yet. Since Venus is trine Saturn, Saturn is in 12th. There's something that is if you have not expressed this artistic ability, there's something, since Saturn is in the 12th house of the subconscious mind, that's developing on a subconscious level. What? That is some kind of artistic, creative ability that is developing on the subconscious level, and will begin to outpicture soon. You got a great chart. I mean, you have
I am blown away. I am blown away.
Thank your mother, thank your father, because thank him for getting her to the hospital so that you could be born at that time, because the planets, you've been blessed with planetary energy.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
you've been blessed with planetary energy.
I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for you for reading this today. It's just astounding. It's I was excited for Julie when we spoke to her this morning, and how it really seemed to connect with her, but having it done for myself, I can't even begin to tell you. This is so amazing. Can I just share what stands out to me?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay,
Please.
so you have it. You talked about in the beginning, you said the Sun and Mercury almost directly over the planet when I was born, and so that means like an interest in foreign culture and travel and law and communication. So I have always had a great interest in foreign cultures. I had a pen pal three different pen pals growing up. Wow. And in college, I went to visit one of them that I'm still to this day in touch with. Been to Africa, 9 different countries, 3 times, and want to go back. And the Triple Amazing Connections is all of that, like just culture and helping other people that maybe don't know as much to learn about one another, that we're not all that different. We all bleed red, and we all laugh the same, and we all, and we're so similar beneath the surface.
Absolutely.
But not just throwing out the beauty of the exterior, because we are beautiful. The exterior is beautiful as well, and the different, the beauty. There's beauty in diversity. So that's that just blew me away there. All of it. Oh my gosh, the Saturn, and I probably am not saying this because I was trying to take notes, but the Saturn in Leo, the 10th house or something, where I'm very critical and very hard on myself. That is totally me, totally to a T. I'm very critical. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I probably stopped myself from doing some of the things that you mentioned because I'm critical of myself, so critical of myself. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
People always tell me how calm I am. that I just have a calm demeanor. And going back years, I wanted, and I still kind of do, I don't know how it would come to fruition at this point, but you know, like you said, I'm in the right place at the right time. So if it's going to be, one day it will be. But from a long, long ago, I wanted to sit down with leaders, like take the Israel and Palestine conflict. You know, I wanted to sit down with them and, you know, say, let's find some common ground. You know, I could just imagine sitting down with leaders that have great differences and helping them find common ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is so crazy. We talked, I chimed in when you were talking about the almost psychically sense what's going on with people. I will often feel that something is going on, even though they will say, I'm fine, or, you know, whatever. They'll come back to me and say, how did you know? And, you know, they finally want to talk about it. Thank you. I did want to say thank you. One of my, I don't know if it's a challenge, but as a mom, my biggest concern is my kids, and, you know, if they're going to turn out okay, and, you know, making sure I do everything right. So thank you for, you know, sharing that they will be successful, and that can help to put my mind at ease a little bit and let things go. So thank you for that. The always been popular, ability to be popular. I don't think of myself really as popular, but I tried to explain to my son, because he said, everybody likes you. You always said you were so popular in school. And I said, I wasn't in the popular crowd, but I was in all the crowds. Like I was in crowds that the popular kids weren't in. And, you know, I was in them all. I was friends with everybody. So I was popular in that way.
That's super popularity, to be able to transcend the different cliques.
Yeah.
Popular. You're popular.
Thank you.
You're popular. And it's still true.
Wow. Thank you. And then the last thing, I mean, again, all of it. Oh my gosh. The other thing that stood out, and you mentioned this before you had all my numbers just about Taurus in general, but I have some sort of artistic ability. And I have, since I've moved back here and, you know, working on healing, I feel like that's a big part of the healing process for me, is to be more creative and more artistic. And I'm hoping that I do find something that I really can do and do well and enjoy. I've found things that I like and that I'm okay at. And maybe it's just honing a couple of those that I do really enjoy. But, you know, I'm trying to get out there and paint, and I've tried beading, and I've tried designing these prints on wood. That's probably my favorite. So yeah, just, oh my gosh. So like the whole thing is just amazing. Those are just some that really stood out to me, but I am blown away. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're quite welcome, Erin. And I really can't say anything other than that. It is the planetary energies that were in effect when you were born. And so always thank your father for getting her to the hospital so that you could be born at that time, and thank them both for bringing you about at the time that they did, because the planetary energies are very favorable for you. If you ever have any questions about anything, please, at any time, I have the chart. It's here. I'll be glad to answer any kind of questions, because as we know, the planets continue to move, but all of the basic indications that we have mentioned today are written in stone. A person's planetary energy, that chart from the day of birth, is written in stone, and it is expressed in and through our lives.
Wow. So as you said, I should thank my lucky stars. Is that where that came from?
Thank your parents first. Yeah, thank your parents first, and then thank the lucky stars. Yeah, the stars did align quite well for you.
Thank you. And I do just want to thank you, Baba Ofundi, for introducing this to me and sharing all of the wealth of knowledge that you have to offer. For those of you watching, if you would like to get your own amazing reading by Baba Ofundi, Barry D. McCollough, please visit his webpage. You can go to It's not his webpage, it's his Facebook fan page, but you can go to the short link bit.ly, a bit.ly link, /free reading by Barry. That will take you to his fan page where you can enter to win his free reading, just like this one. And you can also listen in or tune in to find out when his next live hangout is, when he'll do another free reading for another lucky recipient. And I just happened to be the unexpected lucky one today. So thank you again. And Baba, thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.